Rotenberg Hero Cup Championship, and to join me in the end of the Toyota 86 race, electing to step out for the last. We'll just tell the field that the pit lane is now open. Well, somebody kind of missed the class, kind of missed the memo, but that's alright. He only missed it by about 10 seconds. But now he's in now. So 8 cars go to the grid. We've got a couple of returning drivers and a couple of new faces. So Yevgeny and Klaas make an appearance in today's championship finale. Alex Little makes a race return, and then we've got our usual candidates, including our champion Josh Banks, who secured the championship last weekend at the Nürburgring, taking the race win off Nicholas Pick, who was charging right at the end of the session and made a last move, but penalties kind of fixed back on him. So Cameron Betts, welcome to the commentary again. Looks like it's been a pretty good season overall for these guys. Josh being the guy to beat. A couple of cars off in the background there. Alex Little was one of them, I think. The other one might have been Tyler Beasley, actually. Yeah, it was. So I wonder if Tyler and Alex came to blows, but pretty good season overall. How would you rate your one based on results?
First race didn't go too well. Obviously, I didn't actually know I could save my fuel. I got 2 podiums and 2 thirds, so that's something, I guess.
So we're going to watch Nicholas Cook, who takes us for a flying lap around Brands actually. The infamous turn 1, you get that wrong and you're out in the boonies. You go too shallow, you're going to lose a lot of time. Turn 2, hard on the brakes, first gear, probably the slowest corner on the whole track. Into turn 3, bit of a small tiny kink before 3. Second gear, use the outer curve to gain momentum. Turn 4, it's a sweeping left-hander, very narrow. Oh, he's just grabbed the rear grass. He's grabbed the grass at the rear, and that's gonna compromise him there. So we'll now swap places and take Josh over from Josh. So Josh now going down the back straight, heading towards turn 5, which is a very fast right-hander, probably the fastest corner on the track itself. Third gear, 170 kilometers on through there, and then turn 6, which then feeds into 7. This is actually a corner, Sebastian, if you're watching this. That's a corner. 8 and then 9. This is a very fast kink. You just got to be able to get it, as Josh has also gone off. 9, another slow left-hander, which then feeds it around for the last turn. So it's a very quick lap. Formula. It's a very quick thing. Once held the British Grand Prix way back when for the Formula 1, and Joshua crossed the line at 25.8 to start the flyer, but I'm sure as people go through, so Merrill's gone up to P2, Alec through all that, Nicholas has gone to P5, Yevgeny to the top now with a 24.9, and Oliver has gone to P2 with a 25.3, so not too bad from these drivers. Oliver has gone fastest into sector 1, immediately beaten by Yevgeny in the first sector as well. There's a few drivers actually starting to punch out some purple times. Alex is looking strong, but I would be a bit weary because he's got Nicholas in front of him, but I'm sure Nicholas will have the pace to not hold Alex too much up through these next series of corners. Merrill not overly happy with Nicholas's action during qualifying, from what it sounds like. Alex just a little greedy in that corner there, has earned himself a 5-tenth penalty, which I don't think he looks like he's trying to slow down for. So Josh will now be going across the line to try and improve his time. Let's see what he's set. He's set to 24.3 to go to the top. The next driver I think will be Oliver. No, Alex has actually gone P2, but I think he would have... I don't think he invalidated that, but he definitely probably... Ooh, Yevgeny to the top, 24.35, so 9 100ths of a second the difference there. Just waiting to see what Nicholas has done. In fact, Nicholas only went for the 7th fastest time there, so I don't know what's happened there. But we've only got 4 minutes left on the clock, so they're going to need to hustle their bustles if they want to try and improve. Tyler's gone up to P6 and Merrill's still P5, so the field a little spread out. Then you've got Klaas, who is currently P8, 6 seconds off the lead time, but again I think Klaas is running in a scale, just getting some mileage, though probably the wrong game to be doing that, but looking good for Yevgeny at the moment. Nobody's really punching out any quicker sector times at the moment. I think Alex's car made a ding sound which indicated he might be on a flyer. And across the line, Alex goes P1 with a 24.1. And a bit of apologies going around. Tyler, Merrill. Yevgeny's just responded with a 23.7, so Yevgeny is not letting Alex away with anything. Both these drivers part of F2 at the moment, so anything goes as far as it stands. Josh sitting in P3 at the moment. Yeah, Nicholas just not getting a grasp of the circuit at the moment. He has just posted the fastest first sector, but he's gone horrendously wide out of the exit of 3. Heading into 5, he's gone up again by 7/10 of a second, of course. You don't think you've got time to be doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, Nicholas now 18's up into sector 3. This track's split into 4 sectors again, so a very unusual statement with these kind of racing pedigrees. Alex is on another flyer, so he could be another potential to knock it off again. 22, 23, 5, so 2/10 up. What can Nicholas provide here? So you could shave 2/10 off that time, so Nicholas still probably up by about 6/10 at the moment. God, this is actually going to look, this could be actually 22. It is a 22, it's a 22.6, he's almost demolished the field by 8/10 of a second. He was doing 23s in the previous, practice session, so he's already gone his previous time, so that's quite an incredible feat there by Nicholas Cook. And of course, heading into Project Cars 2 next season, it's an open field of perspective for the Porsche and the Toyota 86. We already kind of have an estimation on who's going to be probably the guy to beat in the supercars, and that's Bailey Ford, but we'll see what others can do here to try and mount an attack on Nicholas. At the moment, nobody's really mounting anything at the moment. We've just got 2 minutes now left to go, so we're going to have to hope to see if someone can be closer to the time. Yevgeny's doing the personal best. Yep, so he's gone personal best by 3/10 of a second into the next sector, but he's still got to make a fair bit more time if he hopes to lay a charge on Nicholas's time. Let's see how he attacks through here. Somebody's gone off. Oliver's gone off at that corner, so he's... Oh, what's happened here? Oh, Yevgeny's gone off at the thing, so that's his lap ruined. So he'll probably only get one more shot at this. Anyway, I'm just going to check the YouTube messages because I've got time up now. So pretty much this will be the final lap for every driver now. Those on an out lap will be given the chance to run their one lap. Tyler's doing something weird. Josh is aborted, so Nicholas and Alex will get their one lap attempt unless they choose to approve, but just tell him he can still run his lap, so that's fine. So Alex will now begin his final lap. And then go through so Evgeny currently improved. Doesn't look like it looks a bit off camber. Could be an improvement. No, a bit off, so that's his qualifying done. So I don't think there's going to be any marked improvement here. Josh has elected not to bother with it. I don't know where he is on the track though, so I'm sure that Alex is going to.
It's actually surprising seeing Champ, I guess you could say, so far off the pace. Maybe it's because he's already won it, so he's not got as much practice.
Yeah, could be, and also not many people are too acclimatised to the circuit, so of course with the movement to Project Cars 2 it will probably change, it probably has changed a lot of people's perspective. Alex crosses the line, does an improvement, it does not move up the order, so that's Alex's qualifying done. Merrill doesn't improve either, so that is pretty much qualifying done. So I'll just figure out where Josh sits on the leaderboard versus everyone else. So Josh set a 124.3, so that's going to put him behind, just in front of Oliver, so P4 for Josh. Right, so we'll just sort that through, and so Nicholas takes his second pole of the season ahead of Alex Little. Then Evgeny takes another, well, on his first debut, gets his good start, and then that is pretty much, yeah, that is our race order. So let us get underway. This time I'll make sure to be spectating so I can see the whole thing. And pretty much we'll get to go, and we'll see who will take the final glory for the Porsche Carrera Cup Grand Finale. Now, there was a pit stop needed for the first race for the Toyota 86 series, so probably we'll need to have one again for the Porsche based on fuel, not so much tyres, but we saw an interesting strategy that played out. I don't think a lot of people have had practice to this, to be honest. Most people just come in and start racing, so away we go. Looks like a pretty decent start there by Nicholas. Alex has gone to cover off any attacks from the top other drivers. Josh looks like he's going to try and go around the outside of the field, and looks like he's actually managed to pull it off. Alex has held on to second. There's a bit of biff and barging going on. Somebody's just gone completely straight ahead. I think that was Oliver, just went straight ahead at turn, mounted into the fence, which has put him around. He should be able to stay through. Somebody's been given a penalty for that too. I think it might have been actually, yeah, it's Evgeny that's been given the penalty for the incident, so he must have been the one responsible for the crash. And Merrill's now going to give Josh a bit of a press along. Alex just watching brief on Nicholas at the moment. We'll see what's going on. We've got a couple of comments happening here and there.
Josh spin there.
Oh, he has too, so Josh has made a huge mistake there. My mic is laggy. Okay, that's interesting. Might be based on things, and Class has had an off as well through that also. That's going to put Oliver back up to position 7. Sorry, I might be lying down actually. The interesting thing about this is that you get to see a lot of drivers' assists as well. So Oliver, you can see, uses everything. And then you've got Nicholas, who doesn't seem to use anything at all other than ABS. Nobody actually seems to use ABS off on this game, apart from John Lindbergh, who, again, unfortunately couldn't make it, so... Nicholas with a second gap over Alex and Murrell, looking to try and get another podium to his name. I think he's only had one this season. Tyler's had a good start, which, given how he said he was going to bin it on the first lap, he's done reasonably well to hold off P4 from Yevgeny. He's still got the 1.9 second penalty. Josh, not really sure what to make of that incident. Probably just a mistake on his end. And then Oliver and Klaas makes up the top 8. So pretty good opening stanza from the drivers. Nicholas is just trying to stretch his legs on Alex. Alex is going to stay with him as much as humanly possible. The real test will be Project Cars 2 and seeing how people progress through this. Different mechanics, pretty much different car almost, in contrast to the GT Sport Porsche 911. Different tracks, of course. I don't think we actually revisit. Oh no, actually no, we do revisit Brands Hatch at some point during the season. It's just not that season finisher like it is here. I think the only track that we revisit here from this season is Bathurst, Brands Hatch, and I think no, actually no, Catalunya would have been one, and so would have Red Bull. Unfortunately not making the 500 this season. The Enduros are the Ruapuna 350, the Bathurst 500, and the Long Beach 350. So 100 laps around Ruapuna, 80 laps around Bathurst, and 2 47 lap races around Long Beach. So it's going to be an interesting Enduro season for the Transnational Supercar Championship. The Porsches are also going to have quite a bit of a long sort of enduro sort of feature for that weekend in particular. The Super 2 and the Supercars are the only category. They're going to have 2 races. Probably only 1 race for the Enduros, of course, to make ends meet on the time. Gap 1.7 seconds. Something's happened to a Murrell somewhere. Murrell suddenly dropped all the way back up to P6. Josh has recovered back up to P5. Tyler still holding out. Tyler's actually lost P3 from Yevgeny. Yevgeny's trying to boost that penalty away. He's dropped it. No, actually he hasn't dropped it at all. It's still 1.9 seconds. Yevgeny a little... Oh, Tyler! Yevgeny was too shallow and Tyler was too deep, so both nearly very much took each other out by their own mistakes rather than gambling off others. Josh could be a beneficiary to this later down the road. Whatever happened to a Murrell?
I always see Murrell. It seems he always goes up and down the position. So usually he makes a mistake and then gains the time back, makes a mistake again.
Yeah, we saw that in St. Croix, didn't we? His race pace was actually probably among the fastest of the drivers there. It's just that he was making too many mistakes and having to use that pace too much, which was hurting his tyres. So we're seeing a bit of a panic. So the gap now 2.1 seconds between Nicholas and Alex. The fuel gauge looks to be very much different, as Nicholas is burning a hell of a lot more fuel than Alex, which to me suggests Alex is looking to try and get to the end on one or not even stopping. So Alex could play a strategy card here to do a no-stop while Nicholas just throwing shit to the wind and trying to get a gap. So there is fuel saving, looks like, involved with Alex's.
Tyler barely keeps on the track, but
yeah, Yevgeny's just gone off. So Yevgeny's off, and that's got Josh back up to P4. So Josh is pretty much back now to where he was when he had his off. So good recovery for the champion. And of course, there is no number 1 in GT in Project Cars 2 for the Porsche Championship, but we do know that he's going to be partnering up with a Murrell in the 911 Porsche, well, the 911 and the 912 Porsche, which is pretty much what I would say you would call the the pinnacle team of the category, and of course the same can be said for the Porsche Toyota 86. There's no number one there either, so it does make it a bit interesting to decipher who's a defending champion or not in that category. But we know, so it doesn't really matter. So Josh could catch Tyler at the end of this race. The top two have already gapped the rest of the field out to 10 seconds, so the gap between second and third is 10 seconds, so that's pretty good. But that's also on the account that the general driver that's in P3 always seems to bin it, and then the gap to the next driver stacks up. So Merrill, I think, was only about 7 seconds behind when he suddenly disappeared, so then Tyler was 2 seconds back from him, so that explains the 10-second gap from there. So if Tyler was to go off and Josh was to take P3, the gap would be 12 seconds to Alex and then 15 seconds to the lead. So you want to be careful, Tyler, you don't want to actually do it. Oliver still holding down P6. In fact, he's actually gotten ahead of Merrill somewhere, so Merrill's made another mistake somewhere as well. 8 seconds behind, just running his own race, having a good time. Pretty much the same as the Toyota race, just chilling out, getting some mileage and having a bit of a good time. Now, the gap at the front has just dropped a little bit, not too much to be a primary issue. I think Alex might be just turning the wick up a little bit now. Quite a big difference in the fuel and the tyres, actually, if you noticed. I don't know if Nicholas runs on a wheel or not, but you can see a very hairline differences in the tyre wear between the two. But the fuel was a definite contributing factor. So if you we'll just look at the fuel throughout the whole field, and Alex is definitely the one with the most fuel. So Alex is definitely fuel saving. As Josh has now cleared Tyler, who Tyler's had a weird incident going on.
I think his tyres seem to be quite cooked.
I wonder if he went off at the last turn. So here we go. So this is my point exactly. So the gap is now 14 seconds from third to thing. So every time a driver makes a mistake, it's gonna keep stacking over. So the next gap would be pretty much 15 seconds based that Evgeny is.
Alex has probably started to push more because that's
He is too, actually. So Alex has obviously figured he's saved up enough fuel. I don't know if he's saved up enough fuel to finish on that tank of fuel, but I would say now he's got enough fuel that he won't have to fill up as much on his next stop. As we've got a surprise guest joining us in the commentary box. Actually, he's not going to probably see the race, but hopefully he doesn't say too much, unless he does want to quickly join in. Well, again, no, he's actually just decided to wait until we're done. So the gap's 1.6, 1.7 seconds. So Alex is kind of turning the wick up to now use what fuel he can. So he's trying to look at the point now where he can underfuel his car just that little bit so that he can get ahead. And based on the tyre strategy, he could almost get away with not changing his tyres like they were doing in the 86 race. But I would probably, in this kind of situation, if I was Nicholas, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't change tyres. I would probably stay on those tyres to the end of the race. But Alex is definitely looking to underfuel his car that little bit now, and if he can get as close, he won't be trying to make an attack on Nicholas now. He'll be just trying to close the gap so that once the fuel marker comes in, he'll be able to jump him on the next series of stops. So Evgeny's gotten Josh too, so the defending champ, or the crown champion, being taken on by the debutant, as we've called him. So debutant in the Porsche series seems to be doing well. Debutant in the F3 last season, he bloody took me out when I was looking forward to winning a first race in that particular year group. But anyway, we'll just ignore it. So Looks like somebody just did the fastest lap. It wasn't Nicholas though. It was, or someone said the fastest first sector or something. Could have been Alex, based on that fact. But Tyler's coming back on to the rear of Josh, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we see another battle there. And Merrill has dropped even further back. He's now P8, so he's behind class, and he's actually been put a lap down. Dear God, he was actually, wasn't he? And he still is.
Maybe he was a further backwards.
And the stupid thing about it too is that the camera actually pans and follows him.
Alex has gone off.
Has he?
He's lost loads of time.
Oh, he has too.
He's only a couple of tenths behind him. He's just lost all.
The funny thing about the funny thing about it is that it's probably getting to that point now. Actually, I'm not going to take this anymore, so I'm just going to end the situation with Merrill.
Yeah.
So take that initiative. Sorry, Merrill, but I just can't have you doing that kind of shit. It's not sportsman-like, so. So Alex does pit, so he comes out, still comes out P2, so he's managed to hold his ground, but it's gonna be an interesting forte of, can he hold this ground and not lose a position to Yevgeny during it? The undercut, couldn't tell you how big the undercut is in this game, but probably just depends on how you view things and what Nicholas is going to do to respond. So
he's definitely need to fuel his car more.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what the difference would be. I didn't actually look at Alex's fuel number before he came in and what he fueled up to, but definitely I would almost probably go as far as saying it's probably about a couple of
as well.
Yeah, I'd say it would be about a second or two more fuel that he would have to put in, and especially given that he's been forced to pit really early. So let's see, so he had 18 litres. He needs to get it to 10 laps, so where's Alex? Alex is coming down the straight now. Alex could probably get this. Only just though, so Nicholas did have to dump a lot more fuel in his car.
He fueled it.
Yeah, I think the difference now is that Alex probably can't push as hard as he needs to, whereas Nicholas can. Oliver's elected to stay out an extra lap, so Oliver's not too. Oliver's gone off the circuit as well, so I don't think he's gonna. I can't imagine him not staying out too much longer now. Josh has cleared Yevgeny in the pit stop, actually. Oh, Yevgeny actually gives Oliver a bit of a whack up the rear, saying that's not sportingly. But, you know, Oliver is fighting for position, so he has every right to be where he is, and Tyler's got a 5-10 penalty, and Class has not come in yet, so that's why his gap to the leaders has shrunk a bit. So the gap's now 1.9 seconds in Alex's favour. Alex has actually just gone really wide into that last series of turns, which could possibly drop him a bit of time. I'm just going to check this in. At least we're all seeing a joke in it, but anyway, the weird part about the whole thing was that the camera was following him going backwards, and that's just weird. Even by F1 standard, that doesn't happen. So, Josh is 24.8 seconds off the lead. This is a bit of a rarity to people who have been following the Porsche Carrera Cup race. Or Porsche Carrera Cup Series over the course since it started at Sabaka. It's been Josh usually is up the front fighting for the win, but at the moment he's just almost struggling to hold on to position 3 at the moment, because Yevgeny, who's only just now cleared Oliver, will now pursue him. I don't know why. I'm a bit surprised Oliver's staying out as long as he... At the moment, he'll rejoin pretty much in front of, well, behind everyone apart from Klaas, but he's not going to gain from it. He's not going to have... The better tyre life isn't going to do him any favours if he's that too far back. Now, I'm just looking at the fuel mark. Now, you said that Nicholas has already filled up all the way to the... filled all the way up. He's already burnt half that fuel off in 3 laps. So, Nicholas is really pushing hard. Alex has barely touched his fuel, so I don't know what fuel mode they're running at. That much I can't actually see because the game won't... Well, actually, I wonder if I could... I can't use the...
I don't think he's catching enough to move anything, so I think Alex is keeping
and I think, based on that knowledge, I think Nicholas will be just a little annoyed at the fact that Alex has probably played him a little bit through the start of the first. I am just a little bit surprised that Alex's undercut was actually able to work just on the fact that he was 4 seconds behind. So I wouldn't have thought there was 4 seconds of difference in fuel, but obviously it was enough to gain basically make...
Or add any fuel to his car.
No, he definitely did add fuel to his car, and it did look like he actually changed tyres as well, so both drivers changed tyres. So I would have thought, I mean, if Nicholas had changed the tyres and Alex didn't, that would have explained quite a bit of a difference. But it looks like both drivers actually did end up changing their tyres. At the end of it, so hard to say, but Josh and Yev are starting to engage in another battle. Oliver finally comes in from position 6. We probably should expect to see Klaas in this lap too, because he's going to be running out of fuel very shortly. So you could almost say 14 laps on a tank of fuel, so not too bad. Oliver probably wouldn't have needed a fill. So half a tank, so half a tank, 6 laps, yeah, Alex could make it quite easily based on those numbers. 1.4 seconds the gap, Klaas is now in. So let's see, so Klaas has got 7 litres left. How much does he fill up? That'll probably give you an understanding of how many laps worth of fuel. So 50 litres. So that's interesting actually when I'm thinking about it. But he's now going to play a part in this because he's now going to be targeted for traffic. So he'll probably want to get out of the way. Okay, that's one way of doing it, I suppose. He's got still got plenty of time before he has to get out of the way of the next set of cars, which is Josh and Yevgeny, which this battle is now revving up. Yevgeny is showing some pretty neat pace coming in this car, so it makes you wonder if Yevgeny had joined the Porsche Carrera Cup Series at the start of the season, would Josh have been able to run away with the series? Very hard to say based on the knowledge, but at the moment he's definitely giving the Crown Champion a bit of a workout. Whether Josh is giving it his all or not remains to be seen, but Oliver's not too far back from this battle either, but I think with the 1.5 second penalty he's probably asking a bit too much out of himself. Now the gap at the front's now dropped to 1.3 seconds. Nicholas did drop the previous fastest lap by almost 4 tenths of a second actually, based on that number. 22.45, and Alex's best lap is a 22.7, so let's see what the lap times are here. So Alex crosses the line, 22.7 and a 22.98 for Nicholas, so actually Alex was faster than Nicholas that lap by a tenth, so literally a tenth actually. So Alex is definitely responding as he tries to hold off the charge. So for Alex it'll be actually this might actually elevate Alex up to second in the championship despite the amount of races he's missed, but in saying that Sebastian's also missed the same amount of races also, so it does explain a bit. So Alex, despite everything, should move up to second in the championship. The battle between Amiral and Tyler is going to go in favour of Tyler now because of Amiral making the foolish mistake of going backwards and thus being disqualified from the race. So, Tyler, speaking of going absolutely ragged, he's actually joined into this battle really quickly all of a sudden. So I'm not sure. Yeah, the penalty's going to let him down, but yeah, he was 3 seconds behind these two, and now all of a sudden he's just right up behind them. So I don't know what. Yeah,
decent pace.
Yeah, we kind of considered that Amiral Yevgeny was the one that hit Oliver off. So I'm sure that'll get addressed at the end of the race. So what's the gap at the front? 1.2 seconds. So Alex is still, what was the lap differences there? 23.1 versus 22.9 for Nicholas. So Nicholas was 3 tenths faster that time around, but it's still playing back and forth between the two of them. Josh on that. Josh does a 24.1. Yevgeny with a 24.1 and Tyler with a 24.2. Oh, this guy is a man on a mission. I've never seen ever seen a driver being able to get on the grass, lose the car so much, and recollect himself and just carry on as much as Tyler has. He's just absolutely, he's honestly, watching him through F3 last season, F1 this season, and watching him through this, it's just been amazing. He's such a character when it comes down to it. He loves to be challenged, so any chance that we can get, that we say to him something on the game. So I should have probably told him I'll challenge him to not use ABS, and next race he would say I'm doing it. So he's actually going to have a go here. Could do this. He's done it, but that may have just extended his penalty because he did give that. Yeah, there we go. So it was a bit optimistic. Now what's the battle at the front? It is now 1.7 seconds, and we've got Oliver now in the fray of being put a lap down, but I'm sure Oliver will. Actually, Oliver's going to drop the penalty, and I would be guessing that he is. Yep, just getting straight out of the way. So, bit of a twitch there towards Nicholas. I don't wonder if there's a bit of beef between those two. Don't know, but I think for Alex, it's going to be a pretty good redemption race for him, despite missing so many races, 2 weeks worth of races. Won't be partaking in the Porsche Carrera Cup next season. He'll be actually going down to the 86 Championship in Project Cars 2 for a better timing, and will also take part in the Supercars Championship, as we have said previously. Yevgeny has actually gotten back through on Tyler, and Tyler has dropped his penalty down, so Josh has actually been given a... Oh no, Josh, Jesus Christ! That's a really dangerous spot to be getting on the grass there, Josh, but he's done well to hold on to P3, even though he's now nearly 40 seconds off the lead of the race. Moving into the next game, it's going to be a very different story as to who's going to be where, but it's definitely going to be an exciting development, because I don't think many people have touched Project Cars too much at the moment, because we are still, this is the last race for GT Sport as well, so we bid farewell to GT Sport with this race in particular, but it's going to be an exciting prospect to move to Project Cars 2 and see what we can manage out of that. Oh, and Tyler now off at turn 1. Managed to keep the car from spinning, so that's a pretty good job there. Oliver 1.1 minute 30 seconds behind the lead, and Klaas could almost face risking getting a second lap put on him. Actually, if he's not too careful. Of course, there is only one lap left to go now, so Alex will begin the final lap. Nicholas is now starting to push. Actually, if you look at the fuel between the two drivers, despite the fact that Nicholas had filled his car up to the brim in that last stop, they're almost actually neck and neck in their fuel, so that's how much gap down. It's now 1.2 seconds, but Nicholas has just made a huge mistake into 2. Next,
ridiculous what a time,
and he's been given a penalty for it too, so yeah, I suppose he did still technically cut the corner in a small, strange, fucked up GT Sport style. The penalty system on GT Sport's been very touch and go. Now, what's happened to Josh? Oh, Josh has had a huge off somewhere. That's the penultimate bend, so Josh has had a huge mistake, and the crown champion is now back in P5, and Yevgeny is going to get a podium on debut, so that's a good effort for thing. And Tyler's going to record his best finish of the season. I don't think. Oh no, Tyler got a podium last weekend at Nürburgring. What am I saying? Or did he? No, you got the podium. Yeah, you. So Tyler, I think, is looking for his best finish, or equaling best finish of the season. I'll have to have a look at that actually later down the road. But Alex Little, crosses the line to take the final race of the season, and that'll promote him to second in the championship. Nicholas will take position 2, and that'll actually elevate him quite a bit. 2 second places should elevate him quite a fair bit up in the championship based on that. And then we've still got to wait till the rest of the drivers come through. I think Klaas will be the next driver to finish, but of course he's a lap down, so Oliver crosses the line for position 6. Nobody doing any silly stuff today, that's interesting. So Klaas will cross the line for another...
Ooh, we can have some drama, what?
last minute blunders, but then Yev crosses the line, takes position 3, gets a podium on his last race. Tyler is starting to do the wobbles, which indicates he's going to do something silly. Probably won't want to do that with Josh right up behind you. You want to finish your race on a high, so Tyler will cross the line for position 4, and Josh will make it the last of the finishes on the lead lap. So that's Josh's worst this race today was Josh's worst finish in the Porsche Carrera Cup, so that's not too bad consistency for Josh, and that consistency has rewarded him with the Porsche Carrera Cup Championship as a result. So great job for all the drivers today. Muriel very cheeky. So with that, eat my baguette. Right, anyway, that's all. So what can I say? It's been an amazing season. What we might actually do is grab the driver. We'll grab our defending crown champion and have a word with him. So, Josh, we've got you with us at the moment. So, you've ended the weekend P5, but of course you were crowned the champion last weekend. We figured we'd wrap things up today with a word from the champion. So, pretty difficult race today it looked like, but overall it's been a good season for you, and your consistency's paid off.
Yeah, this race I was finding the track limits a bit too much, and I clipped the grass in a few corners, and then I spun a couple times. But would have finished P3, but made that mistake on the last two laps. But yeah, it's been a good season, and yeah.
So moving ahead, where do you think you'll stack up with Project Cars 2? I mean, everyone's kind of been downplaying it because they've still been wanting to finish off the GT Sport season. Do you think everyone's going to be on a fair playing field? Do you think there's going to be someone that might be further up than everyone else? What's your general thoughts heading into next season?
Well, I think I have a good idea on who's going to be like the top runners and everything. I know I'm not going to be up there for next season, but you know, hopefully going to improve over time, and then you know, could test up the front for wins and things like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
and I think we all are looking forward to the new season ahead. I'm going to go kill a cat at the moment because it's going to piss me off or something. So that's the end of the Transnation Supercar Series for GT Sport. Tune in next when we head to the Dubai National Autodrome Circuit on Project Cars 2 for the first round on August the 3rd. Brett Keenan signing out for Brands Hatch. I am going to go.